go ahead and start the show.
Welcome to the worst of the best podcast. You wanted the best. Well, they didn't freaking make it. So here's what you get. From Canada, Ryan and Ruban.
Welcome to the worst of the best podcasts. Here's my host, Ruben, and my brother, Ryan. Okay?
Yeah, sorry. I was just working on our settings, make sure everything's good to go. Ruben, I apologize.
Is everything good to go?
Everything's good to go. It's a pleasure to be here, Ruben. It's a pleasure to record with you, my brother, the worst of the best podcast. Ruben, why don't you tell our new listeners who might have jumped on this episode because of their love for Jim Carrey what we do?
All right. So we find things that are the best. Like, let's say a best-selling album or a greatest hits album or best-selling book or something like that. And from that, we decide what is the worst out of the best. So we didn't decide what the best is, but we do decide what the worst out of the best is.
So our job is to find the worst. It's important that we always focus on the worst. I think that's important.
It's how life is to be enjoyed, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I love music.
Yeah.
But I think my next favorite topic is...
Oh, you mean like the stuff that we cover?
Oh, no, just in life.
Oh, okay.
Just in life. Music, it has the ability to transform you. And same with laughter.
Oh, yes.
The ability to make somebody else laugh, let alone millions of people laugh, is incredible. Jim Carrey has done that. But yeah, Jim Carrey, fellow Canadian like us. I don't really care for all of his movies, but I like him. I like that he's made me laugh, and hats off to him.
Yeah, well, he's made me laugh many times. From his early days, of course, Living Color. What a great sketch comedy show that was. Yeah,
Living Color, he played the...
Just like how Eminem is the best rapper, Jim Carrey was the funniest cast member on Living Color.
Was Jamie Foxx on Living Color?
Is that his name, James Foxx?
No, Jamie Foxx.
Jim Carrey, James Foxx. Yeah, some great actors came from that. James Carrey.
I love Jamie Foxx.
Sorry, Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey and Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is great. He's a great comedic actor and a drama actor, and ironically, so is Jim Carrey. They've done both. Both have done very well.
They have done well.
Jim Carrey was born, Ruben, James Eugene Carrey, and he is a fellow Canadian such as you and I.
That's right.
He was born in Toronto, Ontario.
Unlike us.
No, we were born in Victoria. Yeah, he was born in Ontario, and he is now 57 years old.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How is he that old? How are we that old?
I was going to say, he's that old, Ruben, because we have reached our 40s, and we watched him since we were teens, so yeah, math goes on and time goes on.
That's great.
He went from his time as a struggling movie actor to a cast member of Living Color in the 90s to one of the biggest movie and comedian stars in the world. He has done some huge box office, okay? And we're going to talk about his top movies that he's been in. For our listeners, the gross that we're going to give you is adjusted gross for today's movie ticket prices. That tells you, the listener, how much box office draw he has had these movies been released today with the same amount of ticket sales, if that makes sense. Because movies that came out in the early 90s, early 2000s, so like 20 years ago, inflation has occurred since then. Mm-hmm. At 151 million, Ruben, we have me, myself, and Irene.
All three of you.
Yes. You seen that movie?
Do you know what? I don't know if I have.
What? Well, that's part of this list. I assumed you've seen it, so it's on the list.
I can understand why you would assume, but I haven't seen all these movies on the list.
Okay, well, that's fair. I think there'll probably only be a couple. That's, I guess, the first one right off the bat. Well, it's a Farrelly Brother movie.
And I'm not sure why I haven't or why I don't remember.
That is weird.
Yeah, so I feel like I can't comment on it other than just being truthful.
You can be truthful, Ruben. I'll allow it.
Yeah, I just was.
It's a little on the crude side. Sorry if it's looking at some of the movie clips on YouTube. So it's a Farrelly Brothers movie, Ruben. Being a Farrelly Brother movie in 2000, yeah, it had some humor that might be uncomfortable watching with your parents type humor, but all in all, it's quite a funny movie. It's quite a good romp.
Charlie loved those boys so much, he just couldn't face the truth. And so he went on with his life as if everything was normal.
So the truth room they're referring to is that his wife cheated on him when he was younger. When the kids were before they were born, and he had 3 black babies. And he never.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this.
You really have to see this movie. And he never admitted the fact that So that's
just so you know, I've seen a situation like this. I can't say who.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you offline. We go travel hours. We go see the baby. Everybody's talking about how it looks like the dad. And I'm like, what?
Oh no.
There's no way he's the father.
Well, there you go. Maybe the Farley brothers got wind of that story and made this movie.
No, this is way after. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Hey, Finner. Hey, buddy. Hey. Forgot your appetite with you. Oh, I did. Charlie, the kids look great. Yeah, don't they? Thanks. Charlie, just between you and me, did you ever notice that your kids have sort of a year-round tan? Yeah, well, my great-grandmother's half Italian. Half Italian? Yeah. Well, that's probably why the water beats off the hair, huh?
It is quite a funny movie. Okay, that made $150 million. Certainly no bomb there. Next one, Ruben, was Fun with Dick and Jane.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Okay.
That's with what's her face?
What is her name? I know it.
It's just an L.
Tia Leone.
I have not seen her in a while.
Yeah, she hasn't been in things like I like her. I did like her. I think I like her as an actress. When she's in things, I don't mind it at all. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah.
So her last movie, Ruben, was in 2011's Tower Heist. Wow, 8 years ago.
That's a long time.
In acting years, it's long. Oh, that's right. But she has been active in television. She's currently in a TV show since 2014 as the lead actor in Madam Secretary.
Okay. But she took a 3-year break.
She took a 3-year break on the big screen, but she was in X-Files in an episode. 2011, she was... she took a 3-year break. That's right, yeah. Tower Heist, and then she got the role of Madam Secretary. And when you're kind of not really a draw on the big screen, getting the lead role in a successful TV series is good work.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. She's a producer and 110 episodes, so that's 50 movies worth of episodes.
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So that was Fun with Dick and Jane. That was that American comedy. It was a remake, actually. It focuses on a married middle-class couple who resort to robbery when the husband's employer goes bankrupt. So they kind of came up with the Joneses is the idea.
Yeah.
It's a fun little movie. Alec Baldwin was in it as well.
Oh, good for him.
Did you watch the Alec Baldwin roast or any snippets of that?
No, is that a recent thing?
Yeah. The Comedy Central roast on Alec Baldwin.
Really?
Yeah. Caitlyn Jenner was one of the roasters.
Caitlyn Jenner was, eh?
Is that her name? Is that the name?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't remember all the Kardashians' names, but
Caitlyn Jenner is not a Kardashian.
She's the stepfather.
Saved by the Bell. Hold on.
Saved by the Bell.
Hold on.
All right. Well, we were interrupted by a phone call, Ruben. I was about to reintroduce the episode, but this is our Jim Carrey episode. So the editing will seem a little bit weird because I'm talking the way I am right now, but this is kind of part 2 of a recording. Ruben, you got interrupted with a phone call. Do you want to explain what happened there?
I own a business where people host birthday parties. We do 5 or 6 a week. Done thousands of them. I've done lots of birthday parties. Employee calls, says the people aren't leaving. I go there. The place is a mess. It is the worst I have ever seen it. If it was half as messy, it would still be the worst I've ever seen it. It was absolutely terrible.
Sorry.
Dumped on chairs. There was people should be ashamed of themselves. Anyways, so went there and cleaned. What can you do?
But they left.
And that's why I had to leave, because the party hosts were not leaving the venue.
So you had to kick out people out of your place of business.
Yeah.
Did they leave without any further problems, or?
Well, yeah, I said yeah, but it's not completely true. By the time I got there, they were on the other side of the threshold of the door.
Okay.
My employee called about 10 minutes after the show left, and then me driving all the way over there. They had just left. I was kind of hoping that I would kick them out, but they were gone. But I still had to talk to them. I have a theory in life that I'm not smart enough to talk to stupid. So I had to say, hey, thanks. Have a good night. What else can you do?
All right.
Shame them? You're really dirty people.
All right, so everything's okay? Everyone's safe and sound?
Thank you, brother. Yes, everybody is.
Okay. The next movie, Ruben, on the Jim Carrey's top grossing movies of his life. At number 12 is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, which made a worldwide gross of $155 million. Not a bad haul for really his first big screen movie, is my understanding. It was his first after Living Color or during Living Color. This is his first big movie. And I saw this in the theaters. Do you recall if you saw it in theaters?
Yeah, get a stream. There, for me, I think it was Ace Ventura, then Dumb and Dumber, then The Mask. Like all
right. Ace Ventura was directed by first-time director at the time, Tom Shadyac, who went on to direct The Nutty Professor, Liar Liar, Patch Adams, Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty. So he's done some other stuff with Jim Carrey. We'll get into those. So this was a big hit. The budget for this film was only $15 million, and like I said, it made $155 million worldwide. So it made money for the studio.
Crazy, yeah.
Really crazy. It's a movie that shouldn't be funny. I'm not a big fan of movies with animals. In general, like there's a new Dr. Dolittle movie coming out with Robert Downey Jr. If you were to ask me, would I rather watch Ace Ventura again or the new Dr. Dolittle movie with Robert Downey Jr.? I'd probably...
I love Robert Downey Jr.
I do too.
I just don't like all of his choices.
Sure.
Who knows, maybe I'll get sucked in because my kid will want to go.
I'm sure my kids will watch it on video. I have no doubt about it. But I'm not a fan of animal movies. Or like movies with animals as the subject matter.
There's Animal House. That's okay.
Yeah. So, but Ace Ventura works because it's Jim Carrey. And when he has that scene when all the animals are on his arms and stuff, and he makes...
My favorite is him and the rhino.
he gets birthed by the rhino, yeah.
Yes.
And then... Or how about when he's solving the crime case and he's got the sliding glass door, and he's opening and closing the sliding glass door?
Oh, there is just one more thing, Lieutenant. This woman is Roger Podacter's neighbor. She lives across the hall. She said she heard a scream. Is that right, ma'am?
Right.
And you said you had to open the balcony door when you keyed into the room?
Yeah, that's true.
You're certain you had to open this door?
Yeah, I'm certain.
What's the point, Ventura?
Only this. This is double-pane soundproof glass. There's no way that neighbor could have heard Podacter scream on the way down with that door shut. The scream she heard came from inside this apartment before he was thrown over the balcony, and the murderer closed the door before he left. Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah! Can you not feel that, buddy? Huh? 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 I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
Oh, yeah.
It's stuff that shouldn't work, but it's funny because it's Jim Carrey. And some people can't stand what he does, but I love it. I love it. Number 11, A Christmas Carol, that came out in 2009. Of course, the classic story of Scrooge and the Ghost of Christmas Past. Have you seen this, Rube?
I don't think I did.
I feel like it's a movie that I've tried to see a few times. I have seen it. I've seen it once. It's one of those movies that every Christmas I try to record it or remember to record it when it's broadcast on TV. It's done by Robert Zemeckis, I believe. It's the same guy who did, of course, Forrest Gump and the Solar Trip. What's it called? The Polar Express?
The Polar Bear Express, which I also haven't seen. Really?
With Tom Hanks especially? I figured you would have seen that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Christmas movies.
Of which movie, say again?
Christmas.
Sorry, say that again?
I am not a big fan of Christmas movies.
That is weird. I've known you your whole life, and I've never known this. Explain. Do you have a reason for it, or is it just...
For example, my wife listens to Praise FM. Mm-hmm. So every single time I go in the van, it comes on.
Okay.
And every single song has the same subject matter. For me, it's so contrived.
Sure. So you find Christmas movies in general
contrived.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
rubs me the wrong way. Now, if there's like a really good story that happens to involve Christmas time, that doesn't bother me. Like Bad Santa. I don't like anything that's contrived, and for me, Christmas movies typically are.
Well, this had a huge budget, Ruben. This came out in 2009. It had a budget between 175 to 200 million.
Yeah, I believe it, because it's Christmas. People will go see the Christmas movie. They'll have the whole family there. One ticket turns into like a ticket of 4 people instead of 1. Those kid movies, the kids can't drive themselves. They can't pay for themselves, but I got to buy a ticket too. And so it's this artificially inflated of how many people are really enjoying it.
So it only made 125 million, which it made money, but thinking that Ace Ventura only cost $15 million and it made the same amount, it's kind of weird, eh? Like, they put a lot of work into this film, but they made the same profit of Ace Ventura. Oh, I love it.
But, they're just there for tell the Christmas Carol. It's not about the superficial things. They're not there to make money. They're just there to share a heartwarming tale.
We got Lemony Snicket's, a series of unfortunate events. Did you see this one?
No.
Oh, boy.
It's a kid's movie.
I think I watched it with whatever kid at the time that I had that was of that age. Came out in 2004. Wow, it was already 15 years ago, Rube.
Yeah.
That's weird to me. It ended up grossing $170 million. This is not worldwide. I should be making this clear. This is actually just stateside. Worldwide, it grossed $209 million. And this was 15 years ago. That's not a bad gross. Unfortunately, it cost a lot of money. It cost $140 million to make, so it only made $60 million. Oof. Basically, if it doesn't make enough to finance another movie, you know what I mean? They'd have to pay out of pocket again to make a sequel. And that's how you kind of know when you're not going to get a sequel. When they don't even make enough in profit to make a sequel plus have money left over from the first film, which So it wasn't a financial loss, but it wasn't enough to warrant a sequel. But it did warrant a Netflix follow-up where Neil Patrick Harris played the part of Lemony Snicket. Or, sorry, Count Olaf. My apologies. It's a fun little movie, and I actually quite enjoyed it when I saw it 15 years ago. My goodness.
You were young back then, too.
I would have been 28.
Yeah, you were in your 20s.
Wow. So, yeah, I was 28 when this came out, and it would have been my older two boys. There would have been kids. We all enjoyed it, and I remember thinking how unfortunate event that it was that it make enough for a sequel, because I enjoyed it enough that had they made a sequel 2 years later, I would have definitely seen it and would have probably enjoyed it. But I read the books. They're fun. All right. Ruben, have you seen Dr. Seuss Horton Hears a Who?
Nope.
Neither have I. Let's move on. Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. This was the sequel to Ace Ventura. This one made... the States alone, Ruben, $224 million.
Crazy. I don't even remember seeing it.
But you did.
I'm sure I did. Yeah. I just don't remember.
When Nature Calls, it's so funny because it's talking about going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, it's a play on words saying it's about animals, it's nature. Sure. And when nature calls, Ace Ventura is on the case. But at the same time,
sure, it's a play on words there.
Yeah. He's a detective, Ruben, who specializes in retrieval of tame and captive animals.
Yeah.
That's his job. Okay.
It's very niche.
Probably why he's the best at it. This was directed by Steve Oderick. Yeah, different director. He went on to direct The Nutty Professor, Patch Adams, Bruce Almighty. Oh, sorry, he worked on those films. He directed, Nothing to Lose. No, he didn't really direct too much after this, to be honest with you. Yeah. He was a writer, though. He wrote Bruce Almighty. He wrote Evan Almighty, but he didn't direct it.
Oh.
Yeah, so he still worked with Jim Carrey for a little bit. Yeah, but again, the budget was small here, Ruben. $30 million budget, so it still made like almost $200 million. Cheap movies to make. Basically, when these two Ace Ventura movies come out, they made almost $400 million for the studio.
Well, I'm sure they're probably talking about to do another one.
I bet you he was asked, and he just said no. Jim Carrey's scale was on the rise.
Yeah. Well, you got The Truman Show coming up.
All right, let's go to that. The Truman Show, Ruben, came out in 98.
98?
98. 21 years ago.
That was a good one.
Yeah. $241 million worldwide.
Yeah, worth every penny.
That's sorry. That's not worldwide. I keep saying that. That's just U.S. gross. $264 million worldwide, and that was in $98. So we're looking at easily over $300 million worldwide. So it was a hit, and it only cost $60 million to make. So another big hit. I love that movie. Jim Carrey was great in it, and it was great to see him kind of use his comedy with the drama. We see the drama kind of kicking in now. Ed Harris was great in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this time another movie came out, Ed TV, which was Matthew McConaughey's reality show.
Yeah.
And this was at a time when reality shows weren't quite big yet, so this was kind of a new concept.
Sure.
Having somebody follow you around the camera. But what I love about The Truman Show was he didn't know he was part of a show.
Yeah. It was such a good story.
Ed TV, starring Matthew McConaughey, the cameras were on him all the time. It was just a camera crew following around his life. For whatever, I can't remember why his life was so great to follow around.
It was a few years ago.
All right.
I enjoyed it. I think it was my favorite there. It definitely won't be the worst pick.
No, there's no way. I don't think The Truman Show would end up on anyone's worst pick for any list. The Mask. It was $258 million. Big hit. Mm-hmm. Big hit.
That's where we got Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, it was Cameron Diaz's first film. She was young in that film too.
Sure, yeah. She had to be.
Like, I think she was like 21, 22. What did you think of the film when you first saw it?
I liked some of it. I was impressed by the CGI in it. Felt the story was pretty thin. I remember thinking with Cameron Diaz, like, who's that?
I remember being, it came out in 94. I would have been 19 years old when I saw this. So definitely Cameron Diaz caught my attention.
She's a good actress.
Yeah. Now she's an incredible actress. So Ruben, the movie did make $351 million worldwide. So 94. So that movie today, Ruben, $560 million box office. And it only had a budget, Ruben, of $23 million. That's it. That movie made a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's only $37 million. So can you imagine? So you make a movie today for $37 million in today's money, and it makes you almost $600 million worldwide.
I just need to have $37 million to do that.
So Jim Carrey's early movies, Rube, were so cheap to make because he wasn't demanding the big pay. But after this, after Ace Ventura and The Mask, these kind of 3 in a row, I think he started to get to the point where he's like,
Well, when did Cable Guy come out?
We'll get to that.
It's not on the list.
Oh, yeah. Cable Guy didn't make the cut.
Cable Guy was so good.
It is good.
I love that movie.
But this is not the... again, we didn't pick this list. These are his top grossing films.
Grossing movies.
And Cable Guy bombed at the box office.
So
I saw it in the theater.
That's more my alley.
Yeah.
For comedy.
The Mask was, I think it was a fun type of the introduction of CGI with Jim Carrey's antics. It was kind of a fun little, it doesn't hold up the way that, you can watch The Cable Guy now, it's still funny. And I just watched it last year again. And it's still just the way he talks through the whole film. All right, Ruben, Dumb and Dumber. This came out in 94 as well. What a big year.
Yeah. I remember watching this in the theater in the summertime in Vernon.
Oh, wow.
I cried laughing. Just cried. To me, it was the funniest movie.
And it's still funny. Wouldn't you say? Can you watch this to laugh?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I just thought he was really quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brady Bloom, the boy, the blind boy.
The blind boy playing with his dead bird.
Yeah, I interviewed him.
That's right. If you want to check that out, you go on the Ruben Show on YouTube and catch Ruben's interview with the actor. What's his name again?
Brady Bloom.
Brady Bloom, who played the dead bird kid. Ruben interviewed the dead bird kid. That's great, Ruben.
He's also in Dumb and Dumber 2.
That's right. And so Ruben interviewed him. If you want to check out that interview, it's a great interview. Go to the Ruben Show on YouTube and find that interview.
Be the one.
There might be somebody who will go, Ruben. The Ruben Show. I love that Ruben Show. Too bad. Does it show in Victoria still, or?
No, it's been out of production for 3 years, Ryan.
Sorry, has it been that long already?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love it.
That's okay. I had a fun time doing it. I went up, did a dozen.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Liar, liar.
Why can't I think of what one this is?
Really?
This part he gets he can't tell any lies.
That's right. The pen is blue.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer. He's always away from his kid. It's his kid's birthday. The kid wishes that his dad would never tell a lie. And so Jim Carrey's forced to always tell the truth no matter what situation he's in. Only the truth comes out of his mouth. Directed by Tom Shadyac, who directed the first Ace Ventura. Ruben was released in March of 97. March of 97. It grossed, in today's money, tickets sold, it grossed $481 million worldwide.
Wow. It's a big movie star, that Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he is. Liar Liar was a great movie. I think it's funny. I think it's great. The kid's haircut's the worst part of that film. The boy's haircut in that film was terrible. It was terrible back then in 97. It's still terrible today, 22 years later.
What's not terrible?
Bruce Almighty. Yeah, Bruce Almighty came out in 2003, 16 years ago.
Crazy.
It had Jennifer Aniston in it.
Oh, really?
Wasn't it her?
I don't remember.
Okay, it had Jennifer Aniston in it, Ruben.
Uh-huh.
It also had Morgan Freeman playing God. Steve Carell was in it.
Yes. Who played Evan?
Yeah, Steve Carell played that news anchor who was speaking really fast during the news broadcast. This was the early Steve Carell before his Office days, but not much before. I think The Office came out a few years later.
I really like that movie.
Yeah, it's good. Again, directed by Tom Shadyac, the director of Liar Liar and Ace Ventura. So Tom Shadyac has made a lot of money for the studio. This movie, Ruben, Bruce Almighty, was a huge hit in 2003. It raked in, again, if it was released today with tickets sold, $774 million.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. And they're only getting higher from this point.
Well, I think that's been the case for all the movies. We started at number 14 and then worked our way up.
It kind of shouldn't count, but it does count because he has a lot of screen time. And in fact, to be fair, this was like the Jim Carrey show was when he played the Riddler in Batman Forever.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a huge, not Batman, but Batman would just be a guy in a suit if there wasn't the Riddler.
I would say Jim Carrey was the dominant force. Batman Forever was kind of a frustrating good film because it was a little bit too zany. It would have been a better film had they just toned down the zaniness a little bit. Tommy Lee Jones' performance of Two-Face was horrific. Tommy Lee Jones does not like Jim Carrey.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, what can you do? Not everybody's going to like you.
Tommy Lee Jones, he seems like a pleasant fella.
Oh, just a lighthearted.
Check this out, Ruben. So this is Norm Macdonald Live. Jim Carrey's on it.
That's what Tommy Lee Jones said to me, too. He said he couldn't sanction my buffoonery.
He couldn't?
He couldn't sanction my buffoonery.
What movie is this?
Batman. That's when we did Batman together.
Wait, you're the star, though.
I was the star. Yeah. That was the problem. Yeah.
Do you think? Did you ever have this problem with
Phenomenal
guys?
Actor,
with
though.
guys who were like,
Still love it.
"I'm a better actor than this movie star." Did you ever get that?
No, because there was no me.
Oh, but I mean, the guy that Tommy Lee Jones was talking to.
Oh, the guy that Tommy Lee Jones was talking to.
Or thought he was.
It was at a restaurant, and you know, the maitre d' said, "Oh, Tommy, I hear you're working with Tommy Lee Jones. He's over in the corner having dinner." And I went over and I said, "Oh yeah, great." I went over and I said, "Hey Tommy, how you doing?" Like that, and the blood just drained from his face, like he had been thinking about me 24 hours.
You'd already done the movie.
It was just no. It was before the biggest scene we have together in the movie, and the blood just drained from his face, and he started shaking, and he got up and he went like this. He must have been in mid-kill me fantasy or something like that. He was like like this, and he went like to hug me, and he said, "I hate you. I really don't like you," like that. and I said, "Gee, man, what's the problem?" Like that. And I pulled up a chair, which probably wasn't smart. And he said, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery."
My theory on that would be that he's a famous guy. He used to be the center of attention. You walk into a room, he's not the center.
Well, he might have been uncomfortable doing that work too. That's not really his style of stuff. You know what I mean? He's like No Country for Old Men.
He cashed the check.
That's right.
For playing Harvey Dent.
That's right.
He was playing Harvey Dent.
That's right.
I just guessed.
No, you're
Was
right.
it?
Great guess. That's right.
Oh, I love Norm.
Yeah, Norm's great.
I love that story. I cannot sanction your buffoonery. I love how Jim Carrey's equally confused as he is amused by this.
Sure.
And I like how Norm basically just says, you walk in, you're the star, and people have a hard time with that.
Yeah. Tommy Lee Jones, did he not know who Jim Carrey was before signing on?
Yeah, and that's what he said. He signed the check to work on the film. You're working with Jim Carrey. You're working with the guy who talked out of his butt during Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I don't know who he is. I don't see his films.
Yeah, do your homework.
Yeah. All right. The highest grossing film. Oh, by the way, Batman Forever made $600 million worldwide. Not too bad.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. 1995. His biggest movie by far is a Christmas movie. It made almost $700 million worldwide. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. When I first saw it, I kind of remember thinking it was maybe too much or too silly for Christmas. We all love the original story and the half-hour cartoon. They fleshed out the story to make it fit into an hour-and-a-half movie for the live action. It's a movie over time I've enjoyed over the Christmas holidays. It's become a Christmas staple now that I watch it with the kids every year.
Okay.
Yeah. I've softened over it. I don't know why. It's aged well over the years.
Maybe your heart is slowly growing 3 times.
Yeah. It came out 19 years ago, Rube.
Yeah.
What is going on here? So his last big hit to hit the top 14 was 2008's Dr. Horton Hears a Who. So that was his last big movie. It was 11 years ago. To crack any kind of box office mojo.
Yeah, he's peaked.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, should we all be so lucky to
have a peak?
Yeah.
So, Ruben, out of that list, we got Me, Myself, and Irene, Fun with Dick and Jane, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Christmas Carol, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, The Truman Show, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Liar Liar, Bruce Almighty, Batman Forever, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Of those films that you and I both seen, these are his top grossing films of all time. All have done very well. For 14 films to make that much money,
huge.
It is huge. Here's the thing, only a couple of them are franchises. The Ace Ventura films and then the Batman films. So these are films that are standalone films making that kind of money. So that's pretty impressive too, if you think about it. These aren't big Marvel movies. They're not stuck to anything but themselves. You know, they're stuck to his name. His name carried these films, you could argue.
Sure.
One of this would say is his worst film.
The one I probably would not see again over any other film would probably be Liar Liar.
Whoa! Okay.
It's just too after school special. We learn a lesson.
Fair.
It's just not my... I subscribe to the Seinfeld motto, no learning, no hugging.
Ha! I like it. It's good, Rube. I think for me, I could go without ever seeing again. For entertainment factor, at the end of the day, Jim Carrey makes me laugh. He also has engaged in some serious subjects, which I've enjoyed, but the only serious film on this list, it seems like his comedies have won everyone over. The Truman Show was his most serious film to break the top 10 at number 7. So I'm going to have to go with A Christmas Carol, 2009 Christmas Carol. This is one that, if I never saw it again as a Jim Carrey fan, I would be okay with that because it's not highly entertaining. I do enjoy the Christmas Carol story. I enjoy that story, and I can see any rendition of it and be okay with it. The Patrick Stewart one's a great one. I watch that every year. It's
I
think it's like 90s it came out, Ruben. It's really good. Patrick Stewart, a great thespian that he is, really captures Scrooge very well. So yeah, I'd recommend that one to our listeners for Christmas coming up. But so yeah, that's the worst pick for me, Rube, is the one that I wouldn't ever have to see again out of the films. The other ones that are listed, you're definitely entertained. There's something entertaining about them that where you're laughing. It's either visually entertaining or comedically so.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I'll take your word on it and still not see it.
I'm not selling it very well, am I?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, thanks everyone, and thanks for joining us on. I love Jim Carrey. He made me laugh. He's made me laugh more than a lot of people in the entertainment industry over 2.5 decades, from Living Color till now. I've enjoyed his career. I can say that I have legitimately have enjoyed his career. So, Jim, I personally thank you for your laughs. You're a good comedian.
Hats off. If you want to see some more Jim, Comedians in Car Getting Coffee, Jim Carrey episode.
There you go. Plugging Seinfeld, Ruben. I think he might.
Have you seen that episode?
Can you imagine, Ruben, if somebody watches Jim Carrey on Comedians with Cars Getting Coffee from our plug?
I just want to give Jerry a helping hand.
Yeah. Jerry, we're doing this for you, brother. I think he needs our help. Did he make any more money off selling Seinfeld to Netflix now?
Yeah. Lots of money. So he made the show.
Right.
Then the syndication, he made a lot.
Yeah.
And then sold it to Hulu, made a lot. And then sold it to Netflix. Same show. And made a lot more.
And now, just for fun, he drives cars with people, drinking coffee and having conversations.
And makes money on that too.
And he doesn't need that money, I don't think. I think he literally does it for the love of conversation.
I think before it hit Netflix, he had 100 million downloads.
Good for him.
Yeah. So
and that show's on Netflix too now.
Yeah.
All right, Ruben, it's been an absolute pleasure, an absolute joy recording with you. Remember, in front of every silver lining, there's a cloud, and we're there to help you find it. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And remember to like us on iTunes and Facebook and Twitter and all those good things. The Worst of the Best Podcasts. Just Google it. You'll find us on all the platforms where we're available. Thank you, everybody.